John in Canada, the fact that people have faith is evidence for God. I'm assuming that this is the John that calls in a lot, but I'm
yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you are a theist, we will take more calls. 512. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, guys. I say, John, I have faith that you are nothing more than 3 rats in a human suit. Does that make you 3 rats in a human suit? I have faith that you're 3 rats in a human suit. You're not a human. You're just 3 rats in a human suit who've been taught to talk. I have faith that that is the case.
Okay.
Does that make it the case?
Okay. Is this your idea of an argument?
Yeah, it's my counter argument about faith.
Well, faith is very important, gentlemen. Without it, we're nothing. And how do you explain the fact that the whole world believes in God, if it's not true?
First of all, the whole world doesn't believe in God. A significant portion of it does.
I don't believe in God.
Yeah, and I don't either. So saying the whole world fails.
The whole world does.
No, you can't say the whole world if the 2 people you're talking to say they don't, right? It doesn't make any sense.
The whole world,
100% except for 2 people.
Except for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% except for 2 people. That makes
absolutely
no sense.
And the entire audience of whatever concurrent, viewers.
Right.
Yeah.
And in a country where
gentlemen, are you aware of the fact that the church in every single country on earth, a Christian church?
That does not, but we're not talking about but see, now you've gone from the whole world to every country. That's 2 completely different things. For instance, in the United States right now, the nuns, the people who don't claim any religion, is growing, and the number of people who Christianity is shrinking. That population of Christians is shrinking slowly but surely. It's now like 75, 80%, something like that. As opposed to where it was 30 years ago, where it was more like 90%. So again, you go from whole world to every country. You're mixing your metaphors here, and it doesn't go back to the fact that just because you have faith in something doesn't mean it's true. You can have faith in things that are not true.
You guys have faith. You guys have faith in lots of stuff.
No, we don't.
Let's hold on. Let's real quick. Let me come in here, John, because your claim is. Sorry, for lack of a better term, your claim is fucking dumb. What your claim is that people have faith, therefore God exists. Now, that inference just doesn't follow, right? The fact that a lot of people believe X doesn't follow that X is true. So do you agree that the amount of people, so imagine there's a world and it's just me and Jim, we're just chilling, and he's like, I believe that I don't want to be pushed. And I'm like, hey, I believe I don't want to be pushed. And we just both believe this. And then now another person comes into the world and we both believe we don't want to be pushed. Or we believe there's a rock over on the hill. And we both believe that, right? We all believe that. We take faith. Do you think that when we add a person incrementally, just one person after the other, that because each person says that they believe it without evidence, that lends any credit to whether or not there's a rock on the hill? Right. Once we get to 7 billion people, once we add that many people, where does the fact that the rock is actually on the hill creep into place? Because I don't understand this inference. Right.
Yeah, I do have proof.
No, hold on. No. John, I'm gonna look. This is what's gonna happen. You're gonna answer directly to me, or when I'm on, I'll never take your call again. How about that? Right. And I'm sure there's a big chunk of the audience that won't be mad about that either. Right. So I'm trying to give you a chance, right? The question is, I just want to see if we agree. Do we agree the amount of people that believe X does not increase the probability that X is true, right? Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay, so then your argument fails.
Thanks for calling.
What do you have against God?
No, go back. The fact that people have faith is evidence for God. That's what you called in about, right? I'm reading that correctly, right?
Yes.
Great. Put those things together. You just agreed with me. It's not evidence. It doesn't support the proposition that God exists or that the rock is on the hill, and it doesn't support the proposition that the rock is not on the hill, right? Or that God doesn't exist. It doesn't support the belief, the attitude. Hold on. Oh my God. Here we go. I'm gonna mute you. I never mute people. I really don't. The fact that you agreed with me that belief or faith in X doesn't serve as justification that X is true, but then agree that that's what you called about. Now, do you agree that you've defeated your own argument? Yes or no? You're unmuted. Do you agree? Do you agree that you've defeated your own argument?
No, you did.
Yeah, I did defeat your argument. You're right. Thank you. I'll take that. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a positive. That sounds like a yes to me. So.
But what do you have against God? I just want to know.
Nothing.
I don't think he exists.
It's like asking me what do I have against Voldemort? I have absolutely nothing against Voldemort. He's a character in a story.
Because for every explanation that you give,
correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if God did exist, you would still be against him. Am I right or am I wrong about that?
If God exists, I would believe God exists. If I have evidence to believe God exists, I would believe that God exists. And the subsequent things that I do, whether I like go to dinner with God or like worship him, is an entirely separate question. Right.
Right. That's why I used Voldemort for my. That's why I used Voldemort as my example. Right. I have nothing against Voldemort. Is he an evil guy in the story? Sure he is. Would I go to dinner with him? No, I wouldn't. But I don't have anything against him because he doesn't exist.
But do you hate God? I want to
know. John, no. we're reaching the like.
I don't hate Voldemort either.
We're reaching like the bottom barrel level of like
theistic arguments. If you've got nothing else,
I can't take this seriously. Like I really can't. So like, let's just get this straight. Taking you serious, which I'm reluctant to do, but taking you serious on this view, you called in. You said that the fact that people have faith is evidence for God. You agreed with me that the fact that people believe something and really, really believe it doesn't actually add any probability that proposition is true. It doesn't add any weight to it. So we agreed on that. And then you tried to turn it on like things about my psychology and me not liking God, which has fuck all to do with why you believe, right? So if you want to talk about me and Jim and what we think about God, it just seems like you've royally screwed this up for yourself because me and Jim existing has nothing to do with why you believe, right? You have reasons and apparently they're not good. I mean, because the first one you start off with didn't go through very well. And then now you had to default instead of picking another one, right? Picking out of the basket of random kind of reasons that I have or that John has. You just tried to attack us on what we think about God. So I think I'm going to let Jim, I guess maybe if you want to get a final word, I'm going to just drop the call because there's nothing of substance here. And I think if you're serious, he dropped the call. I think if you're serious, John, you should, I don't know, man, go back to the drawing board. I'm going to steal John. I'm going to channel my inner Johnny P. Angel here. Go back to the drawing board. It's just not working out for you, man. But we'll be here, right? Yeah. We'll be here.
Certainly be here. And also, don't go back and actually study what some of your apologists are saying, because you haven't made an argument at least as good as they're doing that I'm aware of so far. So I would actually do some studying and some research and actually come up with some valid arguments and realize that faith is not a valid pathway to truth, and that faith, just because a bunch of people believe in something, doesn't make it true.
30,000 people believe that the sun moved from the sky during the miracle of Fatima, right? Mm-hmm. They were wrong.
Yeah.
They were just wrong. Okay.
The physics does not support that.
We would, oh man, I mean, your parents, everybody, they wouldn't be here.